are the fighting team. We always win. And if you think we can, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of Truth Burger and Super Chicken.
so beautiful.
The lady's boosted.
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer. We'll pray. Thank you, Father, for this platform that you would allow us all to come together and be able to share the information about what's going on in regards to the predators, Bigfoot and the predator Bigfoot hybrids in their areas. Lord, thank you for the people that will participate and those in the future that will participate, and that they will be the watchmen in their areas. We just thank you for it all. In Jesus' name, amen. I am Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Wlliams, and who is level 55 today.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And we have 4 Facebook groups: the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and surrounding areas, the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMB, MAN and Son Center and Database, the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path, and the Lead Tracker E Facebook page. And then we also have the Lead Tracker E YouTube channel.
Let me get that up also.
Okay. That's the accompanying channel to this one. There's things that will be different on there, but we would like for the channels to go together. So if you haven't subbed to that one, go ahead, because that's where the Tracking Miracles and Encounters episodes are, and the Standing Feather stories, and just some information that's a little different than what we have on here. We have our book, Standing Feather Stories, for those of you that don't know, is Jerry's Lead Horse Choctaw stories, native stories of his journeys and how we reach the information that we have and that we presented to you in our book, and the background behind the scenes of many major happenings in our lifetimes that we didn't even know because the news covered it up. So it's from the backside of the stories from the native perspective. So people are really enjoying those stories. Let's see. We have our book, The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path.
I'm going to have to use this real fast. There we go.
We're getting there.
We're getting it.
The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path. That's available on Amazon, or for $25, and you can leave a review if you get it on Amazon, or you can order it through us. Contact us through email, and we'll mail it out to you, but we need $5 extra for shipping and handling, and it will be autographed. So
and we just have to say that there's so many things going on right now. There's drownings, there's missing people, there's things like that going on, and this book actually tells you where to look specifically if there's a drowning, and where, just there's so much information in there that's going to help save people's lives, and it already has, but also how to prevent things from happening, because and my voice is still sore kind of from the war games, but the book has important information, important knowledge that a lot of people don't have. There's no other group or YouTube channel that has this information unless they have the book. And if you have the book, you understand what we're talking about. There's things in there that it makes sense once you know what you're listening to or looking at. And it teaches you how to look at certain things or listen for certain things, what they mean, what directions, where to look for certain things to keep your people, friends, family, children safe. And this also can pertain to the human predators. The same techniques as that we use to deter and to prevent is still being used with the human predators. So you have an extra protection with the book and with the information. It's we see the same questions coming up. Everyone is like at a wall, and that information that we have is way past that wall. It's there, right there, to present to you and to help you, but there's not many people sharing the link. We would appreciate, especially if you want to send us something and ask us to look at this channel or look at this person, whatever. Send them the link. Send them the information. Let them get the information first. That will help them quicker than them trying to figure out how we can help them.
That's why we wrote the book, so we could help the most people in the most efficient manner.
In the fastest way. That book is the fastest way. And if we talked individually, we would spend hours just talking and talking. There'd be the same questions, the same things. When if you have this book, you don't have to ask those questions. You know the answer. Some of our trackers they have the information, and when they speak with the authority. They know what they're talking about, and they can help, and they've been helping people all over the world. So,
and once you've read the book, you will never listen to another cryptid or paranormal interview and be caught by surprise of what's happening, because you're going to catch yourself going, oh wait, they're walking into a trap, what are they doing, what are they doing, if the other channels would actually really absorb this book
some
and
of the other
apply
channels
it.
have the book, but they're not using it.
Yeah,
And then they have the questions. We'll see them ask the questions, and we know that they have the book, but we
and
know
we're
that
about
they
to
have
crawl through the screen going, what are you doing, what are you
you
doing?
got the book. Why not read it?
So
It will save your life. It will save your family's life. It already has saved lives. The importance of this book, I mean, we're just getting reports in today about drownings and things like that, where if we were there, we would be tracking a whole area and then moving in and then going to the center of where the Bigfoot stash bodies when they do drown people. It's in here. It tells you where to go, where to look for them. If the search and rescue had this, if they would spend time, if the agency would spend time to learn this book, they would be out in certain areas, and they would, if they found them right where we say go look for them, they would know these have to do with parakeet Bigfoots or these cryptids. They would know that, and they would know the signs. They would know. They would have so much more information, and that's what we want for y'all. That's what we want for families to know. And if you got the book, you understand what we're talking about.
and we're very proud and thankful to all of you that are teaching the people around you what you're learning in here. We've had several of you buy the book for your neighbors, or just people that you know are having problems, and we're thankful that you're out there too. That's what we want, an ever widening team of people. We can make a difference in our own neighborhoods. We can't make a difference over in your neighborhood, but you can. So learn how to with
And
what's in here.
you're going to find with this book and with watching this channel and some of the videos that you're going to be the one who's going to have to start protecting your whole community without them even knowing what you're doing, because you're going to be looking for certain things. You're going to be documenting certain things, sending them to us, and we get them out to other people. If you need backup or extra people in your area, we may have it there. But the importance of the book is just every day we hear of a drowning or of a missing person or someone taken from their own yard, their backyard. These things could have been prevented.
We've had search and rescue tell us that they have never learned to track the way that we taught them, and they're super enthused. It's just a whole different way of looking at things. You would search differently for the predator Bigfoot than you would for a human.
Yeah. And you would know the signs. You would know if you have predators in your area and there's missing people, you would be able to find these things because we detail it.
Problem areas for sure.
Yeah, where you need to go. We've taught ex special forces, ex Marine, special forces, special units,
And it's not
Army Rangers.
Yeah, and it's not just for people going into the woods or the deep woods. It's they're here already. They're at the wood lines in the towns. We've seen them on a hotel roof in the town. They're at dumpsters. They've already encroached. They're not hiding from us. They're cunning.
They're not way out in the mountains.
They're not shy. They're crafty, and they are all predators. And that's what the purpose of our book is. We are one tiny little island out here trying to tell people that they're all predators. None of them are your friend, and you can see when they're in the area long before other people if you will learn what's in here. And also how to keep your spiritual threshold strong. We cover that in this book also. We're seeing the same problems come up over and over and over, also in spiritual matters for people. And if you could get 2 books in your life, get the Bible first and then get this one, because the times that are coming are going to be about some of these beasts.
Beasts of the field.
Yeah. So
we've had researchers of 50 years, and not just one, but multiple researchers who said this book has helped them, or they've had that aha moment. Something, it clicked. They understand what they're seeing now.
And some who have even mocked in the past when we tried to warn them, ended up getting in trouble later, and then came back with a new set of eyes and ears.
And we've had even personal friends who's made fun of us, but later they found out that we are correct and accurate, and they need help, and they've purchased this book, not letting us know that, but we found out through other people that they had purchased that book because they need it. And
we're glad they did.
We're glad they did.
But they could have saved themselves some grief if they had been open to the information to begin with. So, all right.
Okay.
And the reports tonight, the field reports, these are not our tracker reports. We have our tracking team, and they give us reports, but these are field reports. This is for those that we know out there in different areas around the country and around the world, to keep an eye on what's in your area and let us know so we can spot any patterns. It's all about learning patterns.
And if we know you and you would like, or someone can vouch for you, if you'd like to become a field reporter and get a number from us, then we can do that and add you. And it's all about giving the information from your area. And you don't have to be an experienced tracker, but if you've been with the channel or have the book, you understand what you're looking for.
You'll know more than most. You'll know more than most.
Yeah, more than most. So
quickly. And once you see, you can't unsee. You'll notice the patterns everywhere.
And you'll be safer.
Yeah.
And that's what we want, everybody to be safe out there. Too many missing people.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot documentary that goes with the book. The documentary is more of the visual. We go into some places that we don't want anyone else going into, and we recorded that for people so that when they looked at the DVD, they know exactly what they're looking at when they're in the field. From the ravines to the roadside stops, we take you and show you exactly where these traps are going to be. This is not like any other regular DVD or Bigfoot DVD. All the other ones I've seen are a waste of time as far as There's more scenery. There's more talking. We even took out the words as much crunched in. There's so much information that we had to put in that DVD that we took everything out that was not important.
We also tell you the origin of them. Everybody else is still guessing and
they're still guessing.
fighting, and we're trying to say this is it.
This is it.
Right here.
Plain and simple. This is it. But that's in the DVD and in the book. The DVD you can also get through us. It's $55. It's Blu-ray only, so make sure you have a Blu-ray or an MP3. I think MP3 or 4 MP3. And that's the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers in surrounding areas, and you can get that through the description below. Oh, let me go ahead and put that. The description below. With either PayPal or Cash App, you can get. You can also get the autographed book through us, and the DVD also through us. And here's the links we're gonna just put up in front, so that will save some time. But you can get the DVD, or you can get the combination. I think we're also going to have a sale next month on both of them for the price of one. Also, if you'd like to become a Patreon member or support the Tracker channel, you can do that through the PayPal. And tonight, since we got monetized, that we can use Super Chat and Super Thanks, and we do appreciate that as well. Everything is appreciated. Like we say, you know what we do. If you've been watching this channel, what we use the funds for.
When we physically can, we go and help people that can't get anyone else to listen to them or don't have help available to them, but they're being stalked by these predators. We give them the verification that they need, and then we help remove the problem. You know, we mean literally cutting back the wood line. But you know, that's not our goal to go clear everyone's land. But when it's necessary, we absolutely go do it. And so that's what we do.
So the Patreon membership, the Cash App, everything is in the description below. We also have to say that this is a tracker channel. It's not an entertainment channel. Here we take things serious. There are serious situations, and sometimes we have to go out into the field to search for people. That puts us in harm's way. We were talking about that today. We need people to have the book so we don't have to go into these situations that can be avoided.
Exactly.
So even your trackers, your search and rescue people, your teams, your fire departments, all of them, your volunteer people, they get in harm's way when people don't know what they're looking at, or that there's predators around them. When people get taken, these young men, also these search and rescue and fire departments and volunteers, if they don't have the book, they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're going into and what to expect. So you're putting more people in harm's way when it can all be avoided. But we've seen things like that already. Again, we're going to be doing the comments just right after this. Sometimes we stop and do comments in the middle, but we always do comments at the end also. But on the questions that are related to the topic, we don't want to answer something that has nothing to do with the topic. And if you want to message us later for something else, or if you have some activity you want to talk more about it, you can email us and we'll put that. I think it's in the description as well.
And you'll notice that we have a lot of mods. There may be more mods than other commenters in here. We're okay with that because we've had trouble in the past with trolls. We see other people constantly putting up with trolls. Yeah, we cut that off very quickly. We don't want muddy waters here.
We don't want the
People
filth.
might say echo chamber. We don't care if you're right. If you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Call it what you want. We don't want confusion here.
No.
And so that's why we run things the way that we do. But we welcome you here. We're very glad you're here.
And so, mods, be as your best as you always are, and we do appreciate every one of you for helping us out in this situation and this way. So we're going to get to the comments now, since we had to get through with all that. We're going to see who's all here, and we're going to begin.
Cube is here.
Oh, Cubinator. All right.
Isla Wren.
Isla Wren. That's all right.
Night Stars.
Oh, the computer is a little slow, so sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's not.
JR.
JR is
Hello
here.
to all of you.
Everybody's saying hello to each other.
Joyce is here.
Joyce is here. All right.
DJ Tyler Radio.
All right. DJ Tyler Radio. Do you have a radio station, or is it just a name?
We need to be subbing to you or what?
Yeah. Do we need to help out in that way? Not that we have a big channel, but if you're a good, I mean, we have seen you before, and you've caused no problems here. So
Never.
We're always happy to share good people with good people.
Yeah.
Isla Wren says she loves the intro.
Oh, good.
All right. Thank you, Isla Wren. And we will get you on somehow. Wasn't it on your phone that we were putting them on?
No, I think it was that computer.
Oh,
We'll worry
okay.
about it later.
Okay.
DJ
DJs.
Tyler Radio says, OMG, my cats just freaked out from the yell in the intro.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's going to make them uncomfortable. A lot of dogs don't like that either.
They're actual calls or mimics, or I mean, when you're out in the field, sounds like, sometimes it sounds like coyotes, sometimes it sounds like pack of just regular dogs, or
sometimes it sounds like mom.
Sometimes it sounds like birds, just birds everywhere.
Yeah.
But those are actual sounds, and all the photos are also actual photos. They're not. There's nothing.
We teach you how shadow language and how to do translucent viewing. So for those of you that may have trouble with the photos, we teach you. DJ Tyler doesn't have trouble. They say these pictures are some of the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Jose and Tanya, Las Venturas. That's another good channel.
Another good channel, Las Venturas.
Says happy birthday, Jerry.
Thank you so much. And if y'all haven't subscribed to them, check them out. They do a lot of night things, and sometimes we have the opportunity to track with them. Cubinator.
Thank you, Cube.
Wow. Thank you, Cube. It does mean a lot, and we do appreciate it.
There's Graybeard.
Everybody's saying amen. Graybeard. Oh, Graybeard's wishing me happy birthday. Thank you, Graybeard.
Level 55.
55, just like my
Number.
Playing number, sports stickball number. Oh, Night Stars, thank you. Another happy birthday, Isla Wren. Uh-oh. Everybody found out it was my birthday. Look out, look out.
He thought he was 55 last year, but he gained a year.
I did. Oh, they're balloons. I think if we go like this.
Oh, yeah. How do we get the balloons?
No,
Got to get closer.
maybe that. Does that work?
You got to get closer. Okay, we don't know. Sometimes we can make things happen on the screen. Sometimes they don't. You look like a rep.
There we go.
Hey, okay. What did you do to make it do it?
A thumbs up. 2 thumbs ups.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
All right.
We don't know how we make the balloons go up.
Yeah, I forgot. Maybe it's one.
Okay.
Okay.
Cube says, double happy birthday, Jerry.
Oh, somebody's doubling up. Thank you, Cube.
DJ Tyler says, amazing book. Thank you.
Do you have the book, DJ?
Yeah, that's why they know it's amazing.
Oh, I meant, but thank you so much.
It does get hard to keep track of who does
It
and who
does.
doesn't. But we're very glad you do.
And like since you have the book and you've read it, that if you do have a radio station or something, if you would like to interview us or have a talk, we're open to that. We just don't want to be interviewed by people who hasn't read the book, because it's the same questions. It's just a waste of time. But if you've got it, hey, that puts us right there, so we can go.
Joyce says, may you have a blessed birthday. Thank you, Joyce.
I woke up.
I'm thinking.
I woke up and the sun was actually, we got some cloud cover. A cold front's coming through on my birthday.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's a blessing.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
DJ Tyler says, is that Sending Feathers?
Standing
Feather story.
55.
And there is a playlist. I think it's on both channels. And there's a story of where the name Standing Feather Stories came from.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Q, he helped out.
Oh no, they said they're definitely going to get that book. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay.
They just know it's amazing from reading the reviews and what people have said.
Oh, good. Cubator says,
reading the book cover to cover is necessary, and know the information from inside to out. That's what all of us must do. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Cube has started his own Facebook page over on clearly Facebook, but he's in Australia.
What is it called?
He'll have to put it in there.
Okay. If you'll put
you can put that link in there if you want, Cube.
Yeah, your link or your Facebook group page number. I can't remember. Truth Down Under? No. Something like that. I'll know it if I see it again, but I am subscribed to him, so
yeah. DJ Tyler Radio says, I have the Predator, Bigfoot, and Spiritual Warriors Path. It is a must. Oh, okay. Maybe they're talking about they have to get the next one.
Okay, good.
We've got more in the works. Cube says, yeah, already doing that. Lone Ranger in Australia. One now, but others will learn from your book, Jerry and Ella. Thank you. And it's the same pattern there. He's got a totally different landscape, totally different animals, but the exact same patterns.
Yeah.
No matter where people are at.
Like you could be in the jungle, you could be in the desert. With that book, you would know what to look for.
Look for the same things.
You just got to rearrange your terrain. That's all. It's going to be the same traps.
I'm just going to say DJ. DJ says, it was mind-blowing how much activity I have around me and where I live, and after the book, so much makes sense. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
We're really glad to hear
that. Yeah.
Cube says, I felt the same way too, DJ. Blanquito is here. Oh, DJ says, now when I hear about people gifting these things, it just blows me away, and I think that's super dangerous. Me too, and I did it. Very, very little as far as the gifting. It didn't take me long to catch on to that, but it was because I'd been trained wrong by the people around me, by the other groups. Yeah. Some of which,
and
matter of fact, one that I learned that from actually said they don't want nothing to do with us because of this book. They're all about it being an ape and a maybe friendly ape and maybe a people. They don't know. They don't know, but they know we're wrong.
Yeah, they know. Yeah.
And no, wait, listen. I'm going to say this because I hadn't said this to anybody before. I couldn't be there one time where there had been a bunch of blinds and traps and structures. I literally drew a map and left it, and they couldn't find it with a map, so I don't know what to tell you. So, okay,
those groups, you just...
you got to pray for them, because Some people just got to learn the hard way. Anyway.
Oh, actually, about this right here on the gifting, it is in the second book when we talk about gifters, but we'll give a little bit here, and people just have to understand that gifting is a mating ritual, but it's also that you're willing to sacrifice your family, your children, to this predator, because every time you gift, it's going to come closer. Every time you get comfortable with it, it's going to come closer. The thing is, if your pet is outside by itself, it'll take that pet because it'll think that nobody wants that pet. If your child is outside playing by his or herself, these predators will take them. And the gifters, you're bringing them right in. But also, there has been Bigfoot rapes. There has been produced offspring hybrids, but they were gifted. And then they were surprised they got raped. It's
And there's just
amazing.
been some that got raped without doing
Yeah,
anything
and
but
some,
going through the wrong areas.
getting lost, and those things also did happen.
Yeah.
But if you're gifting, you're saying I can provide for you. I can gift you. I can bring you food. I can give you protection and shelter. And this thing in the insect, in the spider, in up to the human, if you like somebody, you're gonna buy them a cake, or take them to the movies, or buy them a present, or that's still a mating ritual.
When a tarantula is tapping on an aquarium glass,
Yeah.
they're trying to get a mate.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of their ritual.
Same thing with the Bigfoot. They're tapping on
the
windows.
window.
They're looking for a mate. They want
And
you to
you've
come
got
out.
foolish people saying that they're just curious.
No, they know
They're
what
cunning.
they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're
And they
trying
will
to get.
groom humans just like a human predator will groom people.
Let's get back to you.
Okay.
Blanquito, hola, ¿cómo está? Nosotros es todo bien aquí. Everybody saying hello to Blanquito. DJ says Blu-ray can play on a PlayStation 4 as well. Okay, good. PlayStation 4.
Good. Thank you. We couldn't remember which one.
3 or 4, but yes. Christine
Wilder. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hello.
How you doing, Christine?
And if you don't know, Halito is hello in Choctaw.
Mm-hmm.
DJ says the twisting down branches are all over my place.
Oh.
We looked across the street on the way home earlier today, and there's a huge break, almost like a 90-degree angle.
And that's the thing. Our neighbors don't have a clue.
No.
And they've got ravens all circling their yards, and dogs are barking all night, and they don't have a clue. They don't have the book, and
we may have to just
mail
stick one on their mailbox or something, and because we're not too sure about those neighbors, but the neighbors on the other side, both sides know, but across the street they don't know. But we have questions about them, so we don't want to get too too close to them. But at the same time, we don't want them hurt. DJ, wait, where are we? Christine says, has anyone heard of Bigfoot activity around northwest Mississippi? Absolutely.
Yes, you got it.
We just came back from Mississippi all the way there to Choctaw, Mississippi. It's so clear up and down the sides of the roads, even. You didn't even have to get out of the car.
All the way to North Carolina.
And you've got that kudzu there.
Yeah, you have them. You actually have them, so you need the book also. It will help you identify. So you won't have to ask that question. You'll know with that book. You'll know what you have around you.
Cube says, battle axe at the ready. Good.
All right. And those are our mods.
DJ Tyler Radio says, no radio station yet. Ha ha.
Oh, okay.
But same thing, if you've got experience or something, you could be a guest on ours sometime too. We don't do a lot of interviews, but we do some.
And if you would want to, you can also send us a message or an email or a messenger to get a tracker number so that you can be a part of this
Field
also.
report number.
Field report, I'm sorry, field reporter. And some you're going to hear tonight and what they're doing. And it's just we're building a better database. We're going to have our own map. We're going to be, because we know where you're at. We know the location, the state, the area. So we don't need that on here, but we're going to be pinning a map of all the locations that the field reporters go to. Who wants to make a video game content?
Video radio game content.
Radio. Oh, wow. All right. Let's hear. Hello, all. Do you have much experience at
YouTube user at Uwari.
Uwari?
I've not heard that name.
It may just be a different name for.
There's a lot of local names for things.
Well, here's the thing. Do you have this book? If you don't, you're going to have those questions, just like the one you just asked. Because
they're all
or it's a hybrid. Yeah, and it's a predator, but it's a hybrid. No matter if you call it a Wendigo, a Chupacabra, Mothman, Lizard Man,
they all
Man,
have
Bear,
the same
Pigman.
original predator DNA.
And
origin.
that answer is right in here. So these same questions keep coming up. That's what we're saying. Your answers are in the book.
I'm not sure if that's if Uwari is a place or a predator.
But even if it is a place, if you have this book,
you'll know how to recognize.
Yep, you'll have thanks.
Christine says,
you and Sam.
good to see you. I met you and Sam at the conference. You must be talking to somebody within the chat.
So let's be careful, mods. If these comments,
were not at the conference.
And if these conversations continue, you know what to do, mods.
Just in case there's any trouble in the room.
Yeah.
Bob is here.
Bob, all right. Bob is here on time.
YouTube user says best wishes. Thank you.
Thank
to
you.
YouTube.
Everybody's saying hello to Bob. Everybody's kind of hinting around to Bob that he's sometimes late, but everybody's saying he's early again. We're glad you're here, Bob.
Early again.
Try a V for the victory. Let's try that.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, you know what you're doing.
Balloons. Thank you, JR. DJ says, oh, wow, that's so awesome, Christine. Where did we see each other at the conference again? I think I remember. Okay. So it is people within the chat. Good.
Okay. Just a warning, we don't want conversations like that in the chat. So if it continues, mods, take them out.
So that we can stay on track.
Yeah, because this is all conversations going on, all that. Here's some more.
Well, somebody said that they purchased the book.
There's just a lot of
new people. Sherry Hicks, or maybe Cherie. So she's fairly new, has already purchased the book and is binge reading it. Good. Thank you,
Sherry. Good.
Not sure if it's Sherry or Cherie. DJ says, hey, that was so much fun. Okay.
No, it's not even
sorry.
doing that.
Q put the link in. Good. DJ says,
there you go.
Yikes, so it's freaking affection and a mating ritual that is terrible. Yes, not affection, though.
No. It's
attraction.
And we even talk in the new book about that, as far as there's even a spider called the gifting spider that will get a fly or something, insect, wrap it up in the silk and go and give it to a a female spider to mate with that female spider. It's a mating ritual. Any apple, any stone, any dog, anything that you are
And-
trying to communicate with her.
Yeah, and if they're gifting you, and the women seem to be the worst about thinking that they're special. You're not the only one that they're gifting to back to you. You're not the only one that they're attracted to. They're not doing it because they love you. They're doing it because they want their species to continue and they want to be more man-like.
Yep.
It's not a compliment. It's a any more than it would be if a serial killer focused on you and was trying to figure out your patterns to get to you or to find the weakness.
Yeah.
Wedge is here.
Where? Oh, hey, Wedge. How you doing? I didn't mean to pass you up there. I was looking at something else.
Christine says she's been wanting to get the book for a while. Her birthday's coming up, so she knows what she's going to ask for. Good. You'll be safer for it.
Okay. DJ Tyler says the Ravens part was very eye-opening.
Yes.
It's a really good book, Christine. Helped me explain a lot of unknown events and things that happen around my property. Oh,
Good.
yeah. This book helps a lot of people, especially if people hasn't had an encounter, or if they've just been watching the TV, or if they're not outdoor people. A lot of people live in the cities and things like that, which there are predators in the cities, and we're going to be talking about things like that tonight also. Let's see, who's this? It says, are specific people attracted to super predatory ideas, negative or negative? These things hunt everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's special. They are coming for people. And if you're open to that, if you're like a person who's trying to be a seer or trying to communicate mentally, they're coming for you.
Yeah.
That's the only goal, is to consume you and your energy and your awareness.
Or you may be a super kind-hearted person, and those are the kind of people that are going to get lured in because they hear what they think is a baby crying, or a child calling mom, or something vulnerable, and they're going to go try to help. Or they, in the book it talks about how they will also use pets to lure people in. Oh, okay. YouTube user says, oh wait.
This one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
YouTube user, it's a mountain area. Okay, so that place that's a location.
Oh, okay. Well, it will be the same thing. Use the book.
The same patterns. It will still help you.
We talk about the corners. We talk about the ambush areas. What the structures look
Mountains,
like. What corrals look like. What blinds. What skirting. Where to find them. Everything.
It breaks it down and makes it so easy. Cube says, "Oh, do you have the book? If not, it's a worthwhile study." Okay. DJ says, "Sorry about that. I respect the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, DJ.
We'll get through it quick." Christine says, "Sorry guys, I didn't know about conversations in the chat. It's okay. It's your first time here, and now you know. We just run it a little tighter ship.
Just because all the other channels are getting invaded by these troll people.
Yeah, that's why we're super leery." JR says, "I know hieroglyphs now. Good.
There you go.
Yes. We show you. We teach you where they are in the ancient hieroglyphs."
Oh yeah, and if you ever take our tracking training course, it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah. Sheree already learned Halito.
All right, Sheree.
Or Sherry.
Right. Or Sherry.
Maybe you could type it phonetically and we'll pronounce it properly.
There you go. Confirm
YouTube user says, "Okay, thank you. You have confirmed my thoughts."
All right. I could have swore I seen Lyrical Jazzy in them here earlier. I hope I didn't pass them up.
Was Lyrical Jazzy in here earlier?
But if not,
Hello, anyway.
they are very busy, and we know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tonight's purpose is for field reports from, we're going to put a link in the chat. We're going to put a link in the chat. And if you have a field report number, now we already have reports from our trackers. So if you have a field report number and you are not one of our trackers who's already given a report, hit that link and then copy it into your browser and then follow the prompts to get in the room. We don't want you to sign in with your own name. We want it to be as anonymous as possible, and that's for your safety, because some people get harassed, some people get stalked. There's just weirdos out there. All we want to know is the information of, well,
What's on the screen?
Yes.
It's on the screen. So if you are and do have a number, you could actually go log out, change, instead of putting your name there, put put your number, and
Fake profile pic,
or a fake, or
anything, or don't even turn the
avatar,
camera on.
or use an avatar and come on. But we know the numbers, we know your locations, we know who you are. So, but we don't want everyone knowing all the information or too much information about you. We just need the information that we're looking for, which is on the little blue field report kind of protocol.
And this is our first, we just started doing this. This
Well,
is our very first.
This is our very first stream. We've been working on this for
Right.
about 2 or 3 months.
But this is the first actual call in for the field reports.
And not everyone's going to be here on the first night. And some people has already talked to us about it and saying that they'll do the next one, or they're not prepared tonight to do it. But if you are one of the field reporters, always make sure you're subscribed, because sometimes you do get unsubscribed. And make sure you get your notifications. This is going to be about once a month that we're going to have call-ins. If you're one of the trackers, we already know everything that's going on with you from our weekly tracker meeting. But if you want to add more extra, you can do that also. And if you are a tracker that has a number, because I don't think all of them do, but if you still want to come on and share updated information
Anonymously.
yeah, that's fine. So I would log off, put a number in instead of your name or your handle.
Put your number in.
Yeah, put your number in, and you can come right on in. We're gonna put the, like League Tracker he said, we're gonna put the link in the description. I mean, in the comments in just a second. Just click onto that, follow the prompt, and you can come onto the screen and give us a verbal. But use an avatar. Well, that's kind of up to you too. If you don't mind, if you don't, well, I don't know. I'd rather have.
Yeah, we've just gone back and forth over it.
Yeah.
We just believe it's safer for you just to remain anonymous.
Yeah. So for the field report, we need when we call the number.
And this may go really, really fast tonight, or it may last a little while. We don't know who's joining.
So on your field report, we'll call your number out. Your first thing you're going to say is the field report number. We want to know active or inactive. And even if you just come on just to say inactive or non-active, then we go to the next one. But if you say active, now we want to know the date and time of the activity and the abnormalities of, is it a new tree break? Is it a new bow? Is it a new blind? And then we want to know the location of the ambush. Was it in your area? Was it near your home? Is it into the town? Like some people drive into town. Some people live in the country and go into towns. And where this happened, was it by a dumpster? Was it at a park? Was it at a swimming area? Was it a boating area? Isolated road stops, isolated camping areas. Also, the next thing we would know is about the pets in your area. Are there missing pets? Are there missing flyers? Do you have any missing pets? Next
or
thing,
livestock.
or livestock, yes. And the next thing we want to know is missing people in your area. And even if you don't know, you can still use the internet to look for missing people that may be in your area. Look at the swimming area, see if there's drowned people. We need to know that information and where this is happening.
Have there been
Um,
any animal attacks?
the only time you would give us a location is if you went to another city or another state, because we know your location. If you say 10 miles from my house, 50 miles from my house, we know the radius. We know where you're at, so don't worry about locations. Um, we want to know if there's missing people flyers in your areas. Um, and number 8, we want to know about the animals in your area. Are there a lot of squirrels, raccoons, deer near your home? If they are, that's a red flag also, because there's plenty of land for the deer, plenty of land for raccoons, plenty of land for squirrels and all that. If they're up close, if they're in your yard at nighttime, if they're sleeping under your light or close to your home at night, there's a predator out there and they're looking at your home for safety. So we need to know that also.
Or you're doing something to draw them in, which is going to bring a predator to your area.
Yeah, you may be throwing
If you're
scraps
feeding them
out,
or
or even feeding these predators. Every small animal is going to bring a bigger predator, or a bigger predator. And the last thing we want to know is about the birds. Are there ravens? Are there owls? Are there crows in the area? Are there the good birds? Are there like the chickadees, the little chickadees?
the songbirds, or are they predator birds?
Yeah, if you got
Which all
woodpeckers,
birds are predators, but
yeah,
we teach you which ones are the
the woodpecker, the blue
predator
jay,
bird
the
sequence.
robin. Yeah, and that's also in the book, as Lee Tracker was saying about the predator, about the bird sequence, about the predator sequence. It's in here also. And if you use that, learn about the predator sequence, that once you see one bird, you're going to see the other one show up, and the next one, and then the next one. It's all same patterns that we're teaching. Also, if there's whippoorwills at nighttime, a lot of places, if you got one whippoorwill, you're going to have a lot of them. They lay eggs, they branch out, they go their own areas, but you're still going to hear more than one. But if you're only hearing one, or if you're hearing one across the road and one behind your house, those are Bigfoots.
Owls aren't going to get in a circle around you hooting to each other.
Yep. Okay, so
Cherie says it's pronounced Cherie.
oh, Cherie. All right. Thank you so much.
We got the link in there.
I'm gonna get that right now.
We're going to add the link now. Do we want Bob to do a...
Well, I don't know if I got any
Or we
pictures
just
of
talking
them.
through it?
And what we're going to have also for the next field report is videos and photos. Tonight we just want the basics of what's going on. We're putting this with other information that we have, and we're going to have a map to where we can locate everything. This is going to build bigger and bigger, and the more people who have activity, if you know someone who may be having activity, if they want to also give a report, and we know you can vouch for them. So let me get back to the comments here. And remember, you can come in on the video with a different avatar, or you can just use your number and use that for your identification.
There's Judy.
Judy Wheeler. We haven't seen you in a while, Judy. Glad you're okay, safe.
Yeah. A lot of crazy weather there.
Judy has a lot of activity in her area. I don't even know if Judy has if you have a number, Judy.
With this, but don't
But it-
don't give it on here. Contact us
yeah.
privately for your number if you want to do field reports.
Yeah, yeah.
And the storms, we talk about the storms in the book, how they affect the predator Bigfoots, how they hunt
yeah.
in storms, and also that they themselves mimic storms in certain ways.
All right.
And,
Oh, sorry. All right, so let's get a number.
okay, the link in there.
Yep, link is in the bottom. I'll put that again in.
So you would copy and paste that to your browser. And then join the stream, but under a different,
Yeah. Make sure you
under
have
your
a
number, sign in with your number and something other than your own face.
And so
We don't want it to be identifiable. You want me to just call out the numbers and see if they're here?
yeah, let's start with 64.
I haven't seen 64 yet.
I haven't seen 64 in the chat.
44?
44. Are you here? We haven't seen 44 either. And like we say, if you have a number, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you're keeping up with us. This is the first one. We will have another one in a month. But if you're subscribed, you get the alert. You know when we're doing this.
There'll be more notice next time too.
Yeah, there will be more notice. We just got everything. Just got back from another journey that we had to do, and so we're trying to get everything back in order here. And so we have to get back to this. We got tracker meetings that we've got to make sure we're on air for. Plus, we got some interviews that are coming up. And we do apologize for not being able to get some of you on here as soon as we could. We've just been pretty busy. Diesel from New Jersey's here.
Hey, Diesel.
Good hearing from you, Diesel. And I don't know if you've heard of what we're doing tonight, Diesel, but we're having field reports, people who want to share information with us so we can build a bigger base, a bigger database of activity of these predators. And you would get a number from us. And we would know who you are, we would know where you're at, so you wouldn't give any names or locations. You would just, let me go ahead and put that.
Go anonymously from your number.
Yeah. And this is what we're looking for, Diesel, if you do or would like to help out with this. We give people numbers to so that everyone's anonymous. But we know your location, we know who you are, so we don't have to talk about who you are or where you're doing research or where you're located. But all we need to know is the field reporter number, active or non-active, the date and time of activity, the abnormalities, the location of the ambush or where you got the abnormalities or the new things in your area like breaks and bows and blinds. Then we want to know about the location. Was it a dumpster? Was it a city park? Was it a swimming area? Okay.
I'm messaging a couple of them. Number, but it needs to be signed in with number 888. Could you log back out and log in with your number please?
Yeah, instead of the name.
We want you to be anonymous.
Thank you. Thank you. I think he's doing it now.
And just put up any other kind of picture than your own identifying picture.
So now we're
Please.
having a field reporter 888. We'll be here in just a second. And this is what we're looking for again. Eight will be here in just a minute. And like we said, we know everyone's location. We know who you are. So we don't have to worry about that. We're keeping everyone anonymous right now. But we are building this bigger. But only with your help. I mean, we can't be everywhere all the time. We have went from Colorado to North Carolina to Alabama to Georgia, Texas. But we've been getting also reports from a lot of people in different areas who are voluntarily helping us by giving us information of activity or non-activity in their area. But everyone's having activity. It just seems kind of, how could people not be having activity when these things, if you know, even the Bigfoot map that people put out from time to time, if you ever looked at that, the whole thing is almost covered except for that little center in the middle, which is the oddity.
We don't trust that.
We don't trust that.
We don't trust them saying that. We don't believe that there's anywhere in this. And in fact, we know better because we personally know of sightings within that little center where they say nothing's going on.
Yeah, we know that.
If they're telling you look here, you need to be looking somewhere else, and that's how that goes.
They say don't look here, that's where you look.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll give 888.
We're waiting for number 888 to come back into the room. And this is our first night of this, so it will smooth out as time goes by. And the first night of doing field reports. And next time we'll make a master list too of
here we go.
individual numbers.
All right, we're going to welcome 888, and we're going to get his report, his or her report. But we'll know in just a minute. All right, we're going to welcome 888, and we're going to get his report, his or her report. But we'll know in just a minute. Oh, 888. Welcome 888, and we're going to get his report, his or her. I think you have two things open.
Yeah, I just stopped it. Yeah.
Okay.
I had YouTube running, and it feeds back. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see. All right. I have lots to report.
Okay.
I've tracked like 6 different areas for quite a while. So I don't know if you want to hear all of it.
Yeah, we sure do.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll start as early back in the beginning of this year, then I'll start that way.
Okay, if you can you kind of give the report as like the information that we need right there?
Oh, okay. Hang on.
I'll just leave it up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm field reporter 888. This is an active area. Okay, starting like, okay, date and time of activity. We'll say the first one would have been beginning of the year, February. I was tracking a location in a park that I walk in all the time. I noticed structures go up in the park. After I had an accident coming out of my first tracking area in the TFL, which means tree farm license, which is where all the logging companies do their logging. I'd originally tracked a group in that area last summer, and then I had a situation where I rolled my vehicle into the trees, and I'm pretty sure they had something to do with that. So I never went back to that site. And I noticed that they started building structures in my walking park about a month after that accident. But I was a little skeptical. I thought, well, maybe the tourists did that. And then I left it for a while. And then this February, I got in there and in the snow and took a bunch of pictures and measurements. And then I finally determined that they were there because I did some stuff that flushed them out. And they presented themselves to me in the form of lights in the forest and a smell of a woman's perfume. So when that occurred, I left the area immediately and I went back the next afternoon and took photographs in the tree line where the lights had come from, and I confirmed through shadow language and translucent viewing that they were there. So that determined that they were proof positive 100%. They were in the park. And I'm still tracking that area. I was there on July 1st again. I found a really big break there. I took a picture of myself in front of it. And when I measured that, it was 13 and a half feet to the break. And then that same day, I went into that area in the tree line where the lights had emanated from, and I walked in further this time, and I walked up to just an odd looking stump that it's like a broken off cedar stump about 8 feet tall, and it has no bark. So it always kind of caught my attention in there because it was something that stuck out. So I walked up to it this time and had a look in there, and it's totally hollowed out right to the ground. So I took a few pictures in around the trees, and I saw the same hideous looking Sasquatch against the tree in translucency that I'd seen back in February. He's in there. And then there was a loud buzzing sound that started when I was in the trees there, and I wasn't quite sure what that was, so I didn't want to hang in there too long because, there's always a possibility it could be something they're doing, maybe a portal's opening or something, so I got out of there right away. It could be a possibility that it was a cicada up in the tree canopy.
Okay.
So that kind of covers those areas. Okay, and then another incident, let's see, my rifle range. So usually every day I go for a ride on my bike and I take a couple of miles around this block here, and at the end of my road, there's a rifle range, and I always said rebuking stuff as I drove through those trees for some reason. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to. And then I happened to notice one day on the main road, I saw two bowed over birch trees. It kind of resembled, the McDonald's M. So I got into the trees there and I had a look, and I noticed there was another big, tall snag that was holding the top of one of them down. So that really indicated to me that there was activity there, and that was another structure. So again, I took photos and I see stuff in the photographs. There was a dead or fallen fir tree that kind of fell on a stump and it broke in half. And I noticed that all the time when I was driving by, riding my bike by there. So I thought, well, maybe that could be like sort of a tree line skirting situation. It's just creating visual obfuscation there that they could hide behind. So I'm pretty positive from the translucent viewing there that they're there. I actually photographed from inside the tree line back towards the road, and across the road I could see a face in the trees across the road there. So that was on June the 25th. And that happened.
All these areas are active, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I really surprised myself just a couple of Saturdays ago down the street here. I did know that they were in town because back in April, I had warned a younger guy that I'd seen up in the park in February when I was tracking. I saw him and his friend there, and I see him walking around at night a lot by himself. And April, I think it was April the 7th this happened. Yeah, April the 7th at 3:05 in the afternoon. It was a Sunday, and I was in the grocery center parking lot, and I saw that guy there, and I just said to him, hey, I want to talk to you. I've seen you around walking at night, and I just said, when I saw you and your friend there at the park that day, I just wanted to kind of let you know what I was doing there. So I just let him have it. And he wasn't opposed to it or anything. I always do that. I just kind of throw it out there, and if people laugh, then I just don't continue too much,
Yeah.
But he was open to it. But then I told him how to protect himself. And then he told me he didn't believe in Jesus. So I just stopped. I didn't say any more after that. Yeah. How can you protect somebody if they're not going to meet you halfway?
Yeah.
So as I was telling him this stuff, I told him a quick back history of what I did, like up in the TFL, tracking them there. And then as I was telling him this, the wind started coming up, and it was totally still air. There was no air movement at all. The wind started coming up a little bit, and it was a cold wind, and he only had a hoodie on, so he wanted to get out of the wind. So we moved over to the edge of the coffee shop, and the wind, I could tell the wind was starting to increase, and there was, it was still early April, and they just sand everything here in the wintertime. So there was a lot of sand and dirt flying around, and it started to get quite high wind, and there was dirt flying in our eyes. So we stepped inside the coffee shop, and I was surprised to see all the employees came out from behind the counter. They weren't serving customers. They were all at the windows to see what was happening in the parking lot because there was this violent wind that came up. And then a lone shopping cart just took off at high speed across the parking lot, and there was a dust devil following that shopping cart. So I was watching that, and there was a car right in front of the windows, this blue car, and I was thinking, wow, that poor person is going to have a shopping cart smash into their car. So it didn't. It flew right past that car, and it flew towards this curb, and it hit the curb and flipped over. But when it did, it was only 4 feet from the passenger side of my car. So when I saw that, I realized what I had just seen. You know, my warnings of him, talking to him about these predators, I suspected that what I had just seen was a veiled attack against what I was saying. So after that, he left the coffee shop. He walked out. He walked away. I stepped outside. There was absolutely no wind after that. So I was thinking, now what am I going to do? So I drove up to the park, and I just told these predators, I said, yeah, that was really stupid what you just did. You know, I let them know that I knew what they were up to. So no, that was the end of that day. So after that was, okay, this is the next area that I tracked. I have a friend that lives on the other side of the valley up in the mountains, and he's a forestry, he's like a private contractor. He does his own stuff in the forest. And I was telling him a little bit about this stuff last year. And then one day when I saw him at the store, he mentioned that he's like something following him when he's in the woods. And he said there's things being pushed over behind him as he's walking through the woods. And it turns out that he does a lot of cedar trimming. He's trimming cedar branches off of cedar trees out in the woods. And then he sells it to a guy that makes cedar oil out of it. So I got to thinking, wow, you know, Denny he's actually harvesting the trees that the Sasquatch has a real connection with. You know, they make their beds out of cedar, their homes, they hide in cedar, you know. Mm-hmm. So that I kind of connected that, you know, maybe they're not happy with him doing that. So he did tell me that he'd had activity up at his place. So back in May, I went up there for a few weekends in a row to just kind of scout out his place and the terrain up there. And he's got a neighbor just down the street from him he's lived in Canada for a while, but he's originally from Britain, and he was living in Ontario, that neighbor, and then he moved out here, and he has no clue what he's excited about. He's out chasing around the mountains, looking for footprints. Whenever he hears any activity that somebody lets him know about, he's out at their place. And I was told that he sets a hammock up at night and sleeps out there when he hears stuff. You know, figured he may as well just put barbecue sauce on himself.
Yeah, bait.
Taco sauce.
Yeah. So anyway, my friend told me that his brother had a sighting a few years ago of what he described in their yard as a bear wearing a hoodie. And it was leaning up against one of their trucks, pushing the truck, rocking it. So I never asked the right question during that conversation, but I thought about it. And then the next week I went back and I asked, because I thought to myself, well, maybe they weren't quite sure what they were seeing. And then what was important there was, what time did this happen? So I asked him, what time did this happen? Was it near dark, or what was the visibility like? And he said, because I assumed that it might have been at dusk or couldn't see well. I might have mistaken what they saw. But he said, oh no, this happened at 2 p.m. So that made things more clear. You don't mistake something at 2 p.m. in the sunlight as being a bear wearing a hoodie.
Right.
So then he told me one night when he was out on his deck just relaxing, he saw what he thought was a light going through his top field. And he thought it was his neighbor with a flashlight. So I said, no, Denny, that wasn't your neighbor. That was them. You saw an orb. So one day there, I think it was the second time that I'd been up there, there's a lake that is down the road from his place. So I was interested to go down there and have a look around. So I drove down a couple miles away from his place towards the lake, and I was driving along. I looked to my left up my driver's side, and I saw a bunch of bowed over birch trees on someone's property. And there was more than a few of them. There was about 3 or 4 of them. So that caught my attention. So I started looking around that area, and I looked off to my right out of my passenger side, and I saw some stuff just right off the road. So I pulled over, loaded up my shotgun and went into the woods, took my camera, and I found a lot of structures in there. I found a big asterisk in there and a bunch of, trees kind of half broken but hung up and twisted in between other trees. Like, these were big trees, like probably 80 feet tall, that were kind of pushed over and then broken halfway up and then twisted and kind of weaved in between 2 other trees. So, and then at that time, I saw a big area on the ground that looked to me that something large had sat down, kind of like what you had shown before, Jerry, when something sat down and you could see the V between its legs where it had crushed everything down. I saw that. So I took a picture of that. And then I'd also felt a wind, a cold sort of a breeze come up behind me. So I knew what that was. So I turned around and faced it. And then I didn't see anything at all. So I took a few more photos and then left that area. And then I was curious, like, why am I seeing all this structure right in this area? So when I got back in my car, I drove about 200 feet, and then I got the answer to that question. I was right on the doorstep of one of the tribal fish hatcheries. So that explained that. And then I think another time when I was up there, Denny had told me, he says, yeah, my hippie neighbors down the road there, they're having a big party. And right next to the fish hatchery is a big property that somebody had bought, and they have big parties in there. They have, tents and trailers and kids and bicycles going back and forth to the lake, and there's barbecues and drink beer and fire pits and everything. And I just thought, well, that all makes sense now, why there's all this in this area.
Right.
So, okay, so that was up near the lake, that part. So the last area I want to talk about now is what just happened here on July the 6th, down at my local community hall. So every Saturday, the community has a pancake breakfast at that community hall, and they do it in order to raise money for the hall and do what they do there, different things and renovations and stuff. So I had a friend and some other vendors kind of set up tables and people sell stuff. So I had a friend that had a table there, and I was talking to her while I was there. And when she was helping her customers, I would just kind of look around at the tree line behind the building. So as I was looking at that, I just started looking at all the shadowed areas. I always do that, have a look at the shadows and see if there's anything odd there. So I tried doing visually what I do in front of the computer screen when I'm trying to use shadow language to analyze my photos. I just did it right there with my own eyes. So I just started looking at the shadows and finding silhouettes in the shadows. And then I would look a little closer and try to look for bright spots in the shadows, which would to me be their eyes. So I started noticing a few different things there. And then I said to my friend, I said, yeah, Cheryl, they're over behind the building there and they're watching me. So then I said quietly under my breath, and I said, I see you over there. And then I noticed the shadows move. The one shadow that I was watching, the bright spots I saw them move down and to the right, like it was looking away. And then I noticed another shadow slowly rising in front of that one. So that was at about 11:30, I guess. So by 12 o'clock, the pancake breakfast closes up. They clean everything up. The grills go back inside. The hall gets closed. And there's a seating area outside covered with tents that are pinned to the ground and tied down. So at 12:30, the tents got hit by a twister that came down right on top of the big white tent. And it just hit. Everybody was so surprised by it because it just hit out of nowhere. And all these tents just started getting torn up and thrown around. And then the twister, this dust devil, flew across the parking lot towards my direction. And it came out and it stopped right across from me about 25 feet. And it spun for maybe about 15 seconds until it dissipated. But it had ripped the tents all up and turned them all upside down. And so then a bunch of us had to straighten all that out. We had to pull the tarps off the tents and kind of straighten them out and get them pegged back down. And then I said to my friend, I said, well, there, you just saw it yourself. This is what happened in the grocery store parking lot with a shopping cart. This is the second. Now I'm convinced that they're using elemental forces against me. It's a way for them to attack without showing themselves. They did it to me up in the TFL when they hit me with their flash rainstorm one time when I was up there. And I suspected it then. So that was on the 6th of July that happened. Okay, so July 12th, I was back there. Okay, July 12th, let's see, 4:05 I was there. I was riding my bike, so I'd seen the tents had been fixed when I drove by one day, so when I was riding my bike that day, I decided I'm just going to go down there and have a look and see how everything looks and what they actually repaired. So everything was kind of back to normal. There was 2 brand new small tents there because on the 6th, one of them was just twisted and destroyed. So I took some pictures that day on July the 12th was a Friday. So the following morning was going to be the next pancake breakfast there. So I went around the back of the building and I took some photos of the trees. And as I was doing that, there was no wind, but the wind started circulating. I could feel it coming from 2 directions. So it was starting to circulate like in a torrent. So I knew what that was. They were not happy with me. So I just backed away from there. And I took some photos, and I've got some good pictures in these photos that I took. I've got a really good clear picture of a face, and you can see his huge nose and nostrils, his eyes, and then of course they're never alone, so there's a whole bunch other ones around him, but I've really isolated that one as something I can show people.
Sure.
If you want to, since you know how to use the present button, if you want to put that up, we can do that.
Yeah, okay, I'll try that.
Okay.
Like I said, I might have to cut this connection off in order to bring the other one forward.
Okay, and also you had good pictures of the tents. You had good pictures
Yeah.
of the Dust Devil.
Yeah, do you want me to put those too?
Please.
Yeah, okay.
But also, are you still there, Bob?
Yeah,
I was going to say, some of these cryptids are very big, and they also have wings, and they can use their wings to build that
yeah,
around you. And we've had other trackers have those winds come up on them also.
oh yeah,
You're having multiple winds coming up, so
yeah,
I would say whenever you get those feelings or feel that wind, pick up, take photos in the direction of that wind, because it sounds like there may be 1 or 2 that's kind of following.
yeah. Oh, you know what, Jerry? I really, this is what I told my friend the other day. I said, I got the Sasquatch paparazzi on me.
Yeah.
They're full. Today when I went riding my bike, I got a native friend that lives up the road, and I've been kind of telling him about this and his wife, and she's very knowledgeable. She's an anthropologist, and she's got a lot of connections with different tribes. And as I left her place today, I continued on up the road. I heard something crashing through the bush off to my left, and I've never heard anything like that when I go riding. So I think that was probably one of them in there, because it was pretty loud. Didn't sound like it was a deer.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Yeah, I know that sound.
Yeah. And that, oh, I should tell you this. Yesterday, I was, I've been rototilling out an area to expand the garden. So I dug out a bunch of sod and stuff, and I had it thrown it in the back of my truck, and I had to take it up to the waste recycle place and just throw it where they throw all the branches and everything. So when I got back here, my mom says to me, "Your friends have been here." I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, you know, one of my hanging baskets on the back deck, she's got some flowers in it, and she said it was laying on the ground, and the big screw hook that she had it hanging from was unscrewed, laying on the deck." And I had a look at it. The hole wasn't stripped. There was absolutely no way that that would have come out. And then I screwed it in tight and pulled on it, and there's no way it would have come out like that, and that pot would have hit the ground. So I really suspect that that was another prank or whatever it was.
Mhm.
She told me that she was looking at that plant, and she said to it, "You know, you're really pretty." And then she went in the house, and then she came out, and that thing was laying on the ground. So I think they're, as much as I rebuke them, I think they're still coming on the property here.
Is your mother also rebuking?
I did tell her how to do it. She might have done it once. But I think I'm going to step it up. I'm going to make some crosses, and I'm going to go and pound them in the ground on 4 corners of the property.
There you go.
Yep, yep.
Let's see here.
For those that don't know, when you get the book, starting on page 66, we start with thunder and lightning, then water spirits, dew, fog, snow, mist, the storms, the different ways that they use the weather
Yeah.
or mimic the weather.
And we've also known these Bigfoots to come to people's properties while they're not there, or while they're there, and pick up items. And like, we had shot at some slugs one time, and one of the slugs was actually impaled in one of the trees, and the Bigfoots had taken that slug out and got a screw from the people's property and took it up there, put it back into that little hole. And we went and checked that hole the next day, and then we found a little screw in there. And then, there nothing could get in there, and especially a screw couldn't have got into there from nowhere. And then the next time it was checked, there was a little, like a BB ball in there instead of that screw. So they will come to the home, especially if you're not there, or and that's why I asked about your mother, because she unknowingly may be
Threshold.
or okay with them, or don't believe you, so she's not fully on board with the deterrence. So
Yeah.
they may just wait till you leave until that door is open again.
Yeah, she's had a bit of resistance towards things I say. Like when I was telling her about, water side attacks and water creatures and that, she said to me one day, "You mean I can't go walk in the woods? I can't go to the lake? I can't go to the river?" And I said, "Well, I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you the information.
Yeah.
And one day I said to her, like what you had said before, the Indian world is a very different world. I told her that because I brought this up in the Sasquatch awareness group. One time I posted a link there about Spearfinger. And I was telling my mom about that. There's things in the forest that people are not aware of. This is what I tell people. I'm not afraid about the things that I can see. I'm not afraid of cougars, bears, wolves, wolverines, moose, whatever. It's the other stuff that we don't see, the things that people are not aware of. Like the story and the legend of Spearfinger. If people want to go look that up, it's pretty scary.
The predators of the big predators.
Yeah.
And that's Cherokee, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a good story on people could, if you want to go to Sasquatch Awareness Project, I've got the link there. And it was a Cherokee storyteller that tells that story about what the tribe actually encountered. And they at first it appeared to the people as an old woman. That's the way it looked, and it would always kind of be on the edge of the tree line in the fall because they were picking chestnuts, and then they would burn the leaves and that, and then oftentimes people would see an old woman on the edge of the forest, and it was this creature that was shape-shifted to look like that. And I guess some of the warriors had dug a pit and they managed to trap it in the pit. And then they shot at it with their bows and arrows, and they were trying to find a spot to kill it. And they first followed different birds that had helped that landed. One landed, I think, on the shoulder, and they shot it in the shoulder, and that didn't kill it. And then I think there was another bird that landed on the tip of its finger. And that was where they had to shoot to kill, because I believe that's where its heart was. But when they trapped it in the pit, they were just shocked at this hideous thing that was in there. So, we are not aware of what's in the woods. And I told her that again yesterday when she told me this about what had happened outside. I said, Mom, the Indian world is a very different world than what you think.
Well, it's the same world. It's just that they're paying more attention. We're paying more attention.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody else is unaware. And let's face it, most of the population believes in flora and fauna, and that's as far as it goes. It doesn't even come into account something that has the legs of a chicken and the beak of the snout of a dog with wings.
Mm-hmm. Are you having any luck getting the pictures in there, Bob?
Yeah, I'm going to try here.
Also, like with your mom,
Yeah.
we're saying that you can't. That you can go to the woods, you can go to the lake, but know what's out there, know what these structures are, and they'll keep you safe out there. You wouldn't want to go swimming right next to a big blind that's just waiting for someone to show up there. But it's about being aware and observing and knowing your surroundings and these signs of these predators.
Yeah.
And like us, we always say, secure your area first, then have fun, but always have somebody watching that tree line.
Like
Yeah.
you have a designated driver, have a designated watchman.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did when I would meet with friends down at the once a month at our potluck dinners. I was doing what you do. Everybody's got their kids running around there and they're all mingling with each other, but I'm watching all the children in the tree line.
Yeah, yeah, good.
I finally told them all that, you know, so they know what I'm about. Some people don't want to hear it, and you know, I know that I probably drive them nuts, you know. Oh well.
Well, we actually
You're
had,
doing your part though.
yeah, we actually had almost that same discussion Tuesday, I think, with some other trackers, and it was like if you go to an event, wedding or something like that, you know, we still have our responsibilities to watch that tree line, watch everybody, make sure they're all safe. And we're saying the bride and groom, y'all go have your good time, do your thing. But as trackers, we got to watch this line. We got to watch to make so you can have a good time. We have to do what we got to do.
And we can be about it. We don't have to make a scene or make people uncomfortable or anything. We're just situationally aware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see my other screen in the back?
I got it right there.
Okay. Can you see that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm not going to be able to. I don't have to go out then. Okay. This is the small tent that got totally destroyed.
You said 1 foot pegs too, huh?
Yeah. Can you see my cursor there at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. These legs here, as you can see, there's if I can go full screen here somehow. Yeah, these legs here have cinder blocks holding them down on the corners. Plus they had about a 1 foot nail spike in the ground. And the guy that had repaired this tent, I talked to him last Saturday and he told me that the tent was tied down to it's kind of like a archway there, a wooden archway. He said it was tied to that with a rope and it broke the rope. And at the same time when all this happened, it ripped out the phone line that was there as well. So, okay, this was right after it happened. And I actually think there's one right here in the background. This dark shadow right here is one of them.
I was about to say, these winds, could you tell if they were coming downward or like across?
Yeah, it was, the thing is about it there wasn't really any wind other than just the twister itself that came down right here behind the tent and then flew forward this way. Which didn't make sense. And I explained this to my friend. I said, if there was a dust devil like that, it would have happened from this direction from the parking lot towards that, because here there's a tree line, which is a windbreak right there.
Yep.
So, yeah.
If the man that you were talking to, if he thought differently about that conversation later, if he put 2 and 2 together of your conversation and then that happening right after.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, when I was talking to this guy that had fixed all this last Saturday, I apologized to him. I said, well, I won't do that again. But he didn't understand what I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, this was a person that was driving up the road that saw it and took a picture of it.
Good.
At the time. And this right here is my friend's vehicle. And this was her tent right here where she had her table set up. And I was standing right there. Well, But here, over here in the side of the building, this is where they were, where I was watching them.
Reminds me of the way they depicted Tasmanian devil
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
world.
yeah,
Same thing.
yeah, for sure.
Can you blow that one more time? Blow it up one more time.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, there. I put an arrow. This yellow arrow is where I was standing. And it looks to me like this area right above where my little hand is there, that looks like a face to me.
Yeah, it does.
So I'll go on to, these pictures are from July the 6th.
Now this
So-
is a separate location from the other whirlwind.
Yeah, yeah. The other one happened in the grocery store parking lot where the bank is, and there's a Tim Hortons coffee shop there, and a pharmacy and a bunch of other shops, a Subway and stuff. But you know, it was the same type of whirlwind that
Yeah.
pushed the shopping cart.
Can you send us some of these pictures after this?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this was July the 6th, Saturday, July 6th, when these pictures were taken and all this occurred. So now I'll just go ahead to July the 12th. Let's see. Shut that off there.
Is this where the wind is coming in two directions?
Yeah. Okay, do you see that picture?
No, I'm getting a black screen.
Okay, hang on. Oh, maybe because probably because I'd shut that photo viewer and I started another one, so I'll have to stop sharing this one,
Okay.
start sharing the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Your screen. All right. Okay, do you see that one now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'll just go through these a bit. Okay, so this was last Friday, July 12th at 4:05. I took this picture. And like I said, I'd seen this when I'd driven by, and I know I could see that it had all been repaired. And see, there's the rope that the guy tied the tent down with again. This had been broken, and all of this had been turned upside down. And these were, he told me that these are two brand new tents. So I didn't realize two got destroyed. I thought only one got destroyed, but these are both brand new, these two. And here's a big face right here watching. So, okay.
Can you
Yeah.
can you go back to that one and
Yeah.
blow up the right side above that tent?
Over here?
A little further right.
Over here.
Right there.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of see something there. Yeah. There's a watery haze right here.
There is. There's a face right there. 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah. This one here, it almost looks like some kind of a pointed ears here.
Yep. And the one that's kind of where the mouth would be.
Right here?
No, a little higher. You see the pointed ears?
Yeah.
Okay, right underneath them are the eyes.
Yeah, I see an eye right there. Yeah. Here, I'll go a little bigger. There.
Where you're at right now, go just a little higher. Right there, down. Right there. Now go straight back across.
This way?
Yep, that's the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And there's 2 nostrils right above that.
Yeah. Right around here or right here?
Right there, 2 nostrils. You're right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I see that.
And then when you go down to the, just go down.
Yeah.
Now go to the right. Okay, right there, that's a nose.
Uh-huh.
And the mouth is right underneath it. It's kind of open.
Oh, yeah. Right there.
You also, if you follow that outline, there's another one. That's another arm, but that one's inside the other one. So but that watery haze, that's them right there.
Yeah.
Where you were watching the shadows?
Pardon me?
Is that where you were watching the shadows?
No. This is actually right in front of the building. I was looking at the shadows behind the building.
Also, what is that red thing right right above the center point of the middle one? Just a little bit, the center canopy.
Yeah, here. Yeah, you know what? That's a face. I looked at that. That's somewhere like a nose or something. You see?
Yeah.
You can see the eyes right there. Looks like nostrils.
That to me looks like a big eye.
Where, this here?
Yeah, you see what? Hold your cursor right there, or
Yeah.
right next to that. That looks like a pupil.
Well, there's a pupil there, and there's one right here. I can actually see. It's kind of like a snake pupil, a vertical pupil right there.
I see that one too, but I'm kind of looking at. You see if you go down just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You see that as a pupil right there.
Yeah, and that whole red part is like an eye.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the left of it, you're going to see the other eye where it's supposed to be. If you go straight across from that pupil.
To my right or to the
left? It'd be my
left. Oh, over here?
Right, a little bit more down, that red spot right there to the left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right there?
Yeah, the finger would almost be pointing at it. It's just a little higher.
Yeah.
Right there is the other eye.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And if you look at that redness underneath it, we're getting like a mouth or something.
Yeah, I see that now. I see what you're saying. This would be like a nose here or something.
Yeah. You got some muzzle like a dog or a dog man.
Yeah. And here's another face right here. See the 2 eyes there and the long sort of bulby nose here.
Yeah, there's some big ones.
How did these compare in size to the shadows that you were watching?
These were smaller.
The shadows were?
Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a minute. I got pictures of that from behind the building.
Okay.
But there's one here that I was telling my friend about. This one right here. This one really stuck out to me. There's his eyes there. I can see his brow ridge here, and he's got a huge nose right there. And this would be the right nostril right there.
Okay.
Do you see that?
But I'm kind of looking at, if you go straight up
Yeah.
right there,
Yeah.
go down just a little bit.
Yeah.
That to me looks like a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Right down just a hair. Right there. That
Yeah.
looks like the left eye of a face.
Yeah.
And follow that outline. I see
Uh-huh.
a nose and that one. Well, that's another one. That's another one beside it. That's two side by side.
Yeah. Well, I like, as you say, they always stack up, you know?
Yeah.
And like, as I'm looking at this now, I can see like, it looks like a fox face right here looking up. You know, it really puzzles me as to where they actually are when they stack up like this. Like, are they, you know, behind a veil that's not our 3D world? Are they in a 4D space or something?
Well, they're all translucent, but
Mhm.
they carry their young or like spiders. So you're gonna have multiple faces on one face. You're gonna
Yeah.
have some that are sitting on their head, you know, got their arms wrapped around their eyes like this. You may only see one eye.
Yeah.
But when you find one, you're gonna find, you know, multiple just being carried on that one.
Yeah. 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 Like when you look at this, it's all hazy right in this area.
Yeah.
Like my mom goes down there and she meets these ladies and they do quilting in that once or twice a month. And I told her, I said, Mom, that place is surrounded.
Yeah.
And this is actually right here. This building is a whitewater rafting building. And then right across in this direction to the left, that was the original old shopping center. There's a bank there. There's a barber shop. There's a liquor store. There's a gym and a couple other little gift shops or something there.
A lot of activity. And then a waterway on the backside, or?
Yeah, the river is not far from here. It's like half a mile. What they do is they got a bus and a big trailer and they put their raft on there and then they go up one of the logging roads up the river and then they bring people down and then they pick them up just about a half mile from here and then come back to their building here.
Hey, can you blow up the left side by the, it looks kind of like, that gazebo looking thing?
Yeah.
The very left side of it on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
On the, right?
Right there?
Well, that one too now, but
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That dark area right there.
Yeah, I can see the eyes and the nose. Yeah. Little trolls hiding down there.
Yeah, small and big. Well, they'll
Yeah.
always be that way, but
Yeah. Yeah, I actually found a good video today. It was actually on Christopher Noel's YouTube channel discussing, it was a few different people discussing the hair. And one that was good was, it was a clip from MK Davis's channel showing just the difference in a handful of hair that he had. And it was quite a good explanation on how it all can disperse light and cause this camouflaging effect.
Has he tried to burn it?
I don't know. No.
did
I know
he,
you
did he
yeah.
have hair or was he giving an example?
He had some hair.
Okay.
I'll send you that clip.
Each little hair is like its own invisibility shield.
Yeah, well, like the sample that he was discussing it had brown hairs in it, black hairs, clear hairs.
That book.
Calico.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So should I go on to another photo?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot in that one.
Okay, this is behind the building. This is where I was looking into the trees on the 6th where I had seen them. And there's a lot of haze in this photo too.
Yeah, if you scroll back down or up,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
keep right there. Whoop, down just a bit, right there, down just a hair.
Yeah.
There.
Uh-huh.
That hazy area.
Yeah, I see an outline here. Oh, I can see an eye right there. Yeah, there's something that goes up and kind of comes around down like here.
Can you blow that section up a little bit?
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going. Right there. I can see the blur,
Yeah.
and I yeah, but
Yeah, it's kind of a hard one to pick out there.
yeah, every time we blow it up more, I lose it just a little bit.
Yeah.
And over to your right, can you pull that over? Or right there,
Yeah.
go up just a little bit, right? Your scroller. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go up. Use your marker to go right there, actually. Whoa.
Yeah.
Back left, right there.
Uh-huh.
That you're actually looking, it looks like you're on an eye right there.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, these are kind of hard to see, and I don't want to.
Yeah, because there's something, like you can see there's something not right there. It's almost like a overexposure
Yeah,
in this sort of a misty area, right?
Yeah.
But there's something there.
Yeah.
I know Ross had a look and he saw some stuff in the trees low. I think it's the next photo after this. But this is what I had seen this. Still gonna check here and see what date this photo was.
But that's how they stack up. You always find that big one making the hole.
Yeah.
Throwing everything off, but being translucent, and you can see right through them. You just gotta see them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this was, I think this was on a Saturday. So this is what I could see here. There was something right here, a real big one, because I could see the pixelation of the edge of it back in here. Probably an eye there and one here. And it almost looks like a weird sort of a beak type mouth, upper lip or something maybe right here. Yeah.
But I see those faces easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of ghostly looking.
Yeah.
All right, so this is just a little bit to the right of the photo that I just showed. I think Ross had told me that he saw ones over in the trees here, like there's one right here that he pointed out.
You can even see the face and the eyes.
Yeah.
And actually, one on the other side of that tree, that dark figure.
Right here?
Yeah, but the brush that's above it,
Uh-huh.
right there,
Yeah.
that looks like a outline of a body. If you're that white little dot looks like it's on its nose right there. That looks like it's on its nose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you blow that up, maybe we can see a little better. Looks like
Yeah.
it's got ears or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. There it is.
Yeah, you're
You
getting
see
it.
the eyes right there.
Yeah, you got it.
And it almost looks like maybe horns on its head. Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, maybe.
There might be something right here.
There's something there. I mean, because you got the dark on. There shouldn't be any 3 lights right there, or 3 marks,
Yeah.
because the shadow is covered by the other tree and the light is coming downward. So
Yeah.
there's something there also.
I'm going to read real quick on page 51, appearance. The predator Bigfoots and hybrids have a look like a laying dog or a laying dog with a beak, like the heat waves off of a hot highway, a crystallized or a watery haze. In today's terminology, people would say pixels or pixelations. From their movements in history, they were and still are called night flyers in the trees, shadows or blurs because of their speed or quick movement.
Yeah.
Talk to those different things too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is, let me see that. That's the same area, but it's just kind of looking at it from another angle. Now, here's something down here, I think. Might be something there. Okay. Yeah, this was this where I had circled a bunch of stuff from that first picture that I showed. This one here was the one that I'd sent to my neighbor up the road. 'Cause I told her that I could see a real big nose right here and the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you want, I'll show you the big break I found up in the park.
Yeah, Paradoya is not making
Yeah.
the breaks and
Yeah.
flipping tents and.
No,
Mhm.
no.
I'm going to read real quick on page 53. No two look exactly alike. The predator Bigfoot hair is short, long, matted, neat, patchy, or thick, but the predator can also be hairless. The original color is black, and the most common colors are brown or cinnamon. They can also be white, tan, gray, cream, or multicolored. One long hair can have multiple colors side by side. They can be calico. The colors can vary depending on what prey has been ingested by the birthers or egg layers and the DNA transferred to the spawn. The predator Bigfoot hair does not burn. The outer edges will slightly singe, but the full hair does not burn. There's no shortage of predator Bigfoot bodies, hair, skin, bone, claws, fangs, tooth, or tissue DNA samples. They become, skip a little, they become translucent by bending light with their hair, which has no medulla. Bigfoots have 5 major, I'll stop there.
But yeah, with that one guy who does have some hair, we would say burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get rid
Not
of it,
all of it.
but to burn. Yeah, keep a little bit, but burn it
See
to
if it
see what it
burns.
does. See if it burns, because we got the
Yeah.
hair just does not burn. I mean, it just got red and red and red and red and red and
So, Jerry, when it burnt, did it have a smell at all?
no
No
smell.
smell. And
Wow.
then other animal hair, we burned human hair, and it all
Yeah.
burned immediately. And,
Right.
and it had no odor at all.
Yeah.
Not before or after.
And we probably held the lighter to it for maybe a minute, 2
Until
minutes.
the gloves were getting too hot.
Wow. Yeah.
We've got videos of does, I think it's called Does Bigfoot Hair Burn?
Right. Yeah. I saw you do that. You burnt it in your kitchen, I think.
Yeah,
A couple times,
yeah. Yeah, a couple times, because other people wanted to. They didn't believe us. We're like, well, here you
They
go.
wanted to do it themselves, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to do it themselves. Let me see. It's got to burn.
Mm.
We said no.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Just, yeah. I'll start up another screen here. I'll have to shut this one. I have to go through I can't just go to another set of photos and it'll carry through, because I have to tell it to accept the screen I'm going to share. So I'll just shut this one out.
Okay.
While you do that, I'm going to read on page 61.
Yeah.
You were talking about the bear in the hoodie.
Yeah.
Predator Bigfoots and Predator Bigfoot hybrids also use clothing such as hoodies, dusters, jackets, trench coats, nightgowns, and hats as urban camouflage to appear more man-like, to get closer to people to eat them. This would be the small, the juvenile ones. The Predator Bigfoot does wear clothing. In a recent case, a juvenile Predator Bigfoot used a hoodie to invade an Oklahoma Choctaw homeowner's porch each night to torment and feed on their dogs. These images were caught on their doorbell ring cam, and we've shown it many times. The lady in white at the edge of the woods. Predator Bigfoots, Predator Bigfoot hybrids are not curious. They're cautious from fear of exposure, which leads to starvation. They're cunning, strategic, and predatory. Using clothing as urban camouflage, the lady in white that people see near tree lines or walking on dark, isolated roads is a Predator Bigfoot holding a dress or blanket up in front of itself with its head down, the hair hanging in front of its face. Always look at the feet if possible and never approach such a being.
So we know exactly what he was seeing and talking about. So we believe him for sure.
Yeah.
And you can let him know that people believe him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you see my screen now? This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Boy, that's a pretty area, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I've done things that probably I shouldn't have done, but I've proved that what you said was true.
Over and over.
Yeah. You know, like, remember when I told you that I flushed him out in the park and you said, well, you probably shouldn't do that. And then like after that tornado struck the tents there last week, I'd said to my friend, I said, yeah, you know, my friend Jerry said, if you ever see them in the woods and you're tracking, don't ever let them know that you see them, because they'll attack you. So that proved that. I told my friend up the street, my native friend, I said, yeah, it was my fault. I was poking the bear, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of did it in a safe environment, you know, where I got the reaction that proves what you said,
Yeah.
without them, you know, jumping on me and ripping my head off.
Yeah.
So, okay, the picture we're looking at now, this is a picture looking out at the trail up in the park that I had showed in my live stream before, where there was a break that they had made, where previously that year before I'd put 3 rocks down to see if I would get a reaction, because that's what Scott Carpenter did. So I figured I would just try what he did. I actually never did get them come and move the rocks around or anything, but they ended up making a break at that spot. So when I did see the break, I knew what it meant. So here I'm just in that, standing by the break, looking out at the trail, and it's just the perfect site to watch everything. You can watch people walking up and down the trail, because off to the right here, it goes up to a big platform where everybody goes and they look at the falls.
Can you blow up the very top of your screen in that dark kind of area?
Up here? Or to the right or the left?
To the right
Over
there.
here?
That top, right in the middle of your screen, actually.
Right here?
Oh, a little bit left. Left.
Yeah.
Oh,
over here?
That's my right.
Okay.
To my left. Go left,
Okay.
left, up, right.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the outline, trying to see if that's a face.
Yeah, you know what? I see something right here. I see eyes right there.
Yep.
There's another outline right here. It kind of goes up, and I think I see an eye right there. There's two. There's one there, one there.
Yeah. And they hang on to the trees sideways, and it's they're so strong that they could hold that position for hours, at least two that I know of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without the tree moving, without anything moving.
Mm-hmm.
The one that is in the documentary that we caught, we had to wait about 2.5 hours before it moved.
Right.
It was sideways on the trees.
All those branches are getting pulled down.
Yeah, all those branches are pulled down also. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some there too. And like you said, I mean, and where you're at, you're in the perfect spot where they would be.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of activity at these parks in the spring and summer.
How about missing people in that area?
There's been some. Yeah, there was a weird one where there was an older fella, and he disappeared, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago, and they never ever found him, but they have found his truck off in the ditch up in a mountain road somewhere with the door open.
Oh no.
Wow.
And then there's obviously there's that the most notorious one in this area was that young guy, 25, that disappeared from the ski hill. And I had found on a report on the BFRO website that someone had reported a 7-foot-tall hairy creature running across the road within about 5 miles of where he disappeared 5 days before he disappeared. That was at 12:30 at night. That person seen that. So on May the 25th, his mother was in the biggest town about an hour from me, and she was doing a book signing at a bookstore. So I coordinated everything to meet up with her there, and I talked with her for about a half an hour. And I showed her the picture of the teepee structure that I have on my avatar face there. And she was interested in what I was saying. I never told her what it was I was describing, because I want to just kind of ease people into that. But I gave her a background as to how I kind of got it into all this. I told her about my forestry encounter on my fly-in job. And I told her I will go up to the ski hill and do some looking around and see what I can find, and I'll report to her and her husband.
Since you just talked about the vehicle, I'm going to read real quick off of the While in Your Vehicle section of the book for those that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
When you're camping, expect your car or tent to be an ambush site. When you go hiking, expect the predators to move into the area where you are parked and to be waiting for you when you return. The predator Bigfoots will also place logs or trees across paved roads. When the drivers wreck or get out to move the log, they are at further risk if the predators are nearby. They will also frighten or push animals out in front of a car or into that lone car going 55 miles an hour on an isolated tree-lined road. When someone says that deer hit me, they mean it. The purpose is to cause a wreck, which will provide them with the meal or blood of the animal pushed out into traffic, as well as the occupants of the car. At night, when an animal is pushed into your driving lane, do not slam on the brakes or swerve, which can cause a person to lose control of the vehicle and cause an accident. Strike the animal full force if need be and continue driving to a safe, well-lit location to check for damage. Hogs have a low center of gravity and can flip your car if they're large enough, so take your time on the road, especially at night. Avoid driving at night if possible. If your vehicle strikes an animal and you must get out of your car, make a call and report the accident immediately so authorities and tow trucks will be on their way. Also call family members and notify them of your location and give them information about what has happened. Your family will often arrive more quickly than authorities or tow trucks will. They can also sit with you until EMS arrives. Lock all doors and wait for help to arrive from the safety of your vehicle. Carry a flashlight and weapon of choice and expect everything abnormal to happen. Be very aware of your surroundings. If something approaches your vehicle, blast the horn and hit the bright lights. Off-road vehicle use is also an area of concern. A tracker's neighbor was knocked off of his four-wheeler by a predator Bigfoot, but escaped. The week before that, the tracker's family was attacked by a predator Bigfoot as they attempted to walk to their car, one of the main ambush spots we warn about.
And the big thing about that is when something like that happens or something causes the accident or causes someone to get out, here in the book on page 172, it says lock all doors and wait for help to arrive.
Don't break that threshold.
That's a threshold. And if people get out, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sadly, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. Too many of them don't know.
We're at 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Oh. Okay. Bob, we also need to check to see if there's any more people in the room.
Yeah.
888.
Okay.
888.
Oh, I'm sorry. 888.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, you got a lot of good photos and information.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the break that they had left in the site where I put the rocks.
Yeah.
I'll just go forward. This was something I thought was a footprint there. It was kind of crushed down.
Yeah.
I'll just go forward quick here if you want to.
Usually we're carrying out there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I had to go buy this one because I got the last one. When I was up in the park there, it might have been the day that I had the lights and the smell. Somehow I figured they must have got into my locked car and got my machete out because I never could find it after that.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you got that. And also remember, if you do have to use that as a last resort, that their appendages, their elbows, their wrists, they're real easy to sever. So
yeah. Yeah, this machete was actually better. The other one I could never get it to hold an edge. This is at least good steel, and it's got a very sharp point on it.
Good.
Good.
And if you had to, you could attach that to something and make a spear.
Yeah, I actually got a cedar tree that I cut down out back, and I've sharpened a very sharp point on that. It's probably about 10 or 12 feet tall, that tree.
Mm.
Yeah, so this was just looking out from what we were just talking about. That's the walkway there, fence line, and the platform's up to the right. And that's looking at the break from the trail.
And a lot of people don't see these kind of things because they never go off the trail.
No. Well, as you saw, I was standing there and I took pictures of those people walking down the trail. I was watching them going back and forth, and nobody would even see anything. If a Sasquatch was standing there, they'd never see them.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the break that I found. It's an older one.
That looks like a 20 or 30 footer, isn't it?
Yeah, I measured from the ground to right here, and it come out 13 and a half feet.
Oh, 13. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Actually,
That same type is in our neighbor's yard that they don't even know
That we just saw this evening.
that we just saw this evening. It's brand new.
oh yeah.
Ben slowly watching this another tree very close to that get the pull down slowly and a blind being built up, and now this is behind it but closer to their home.
Yeah.
No, Jerry, I've seen this a few times, and I think it's a significant thing to take note of. This sort of thing. Down on the road. Go ahead.
Is that a support under it?
That's what it seems like. Down near my rifle range, this is what I haven't showed that picture yet, but I got him. The rifle range photo that has one like this just inside the tree line off the road. And that's why I think that this is Sasquatch structure, because it's the exact same configuration as down near this is up in the park, this photo. But
I was going to say right underneath that is where the predators hide.
Right under here.
You see that one on the left, right where your cursor is, right there?
Yeah.
Left. Right there.
Yeah.
Let's blow that up and look at that dark green.
Oh yeah.
You see that face?
Yeah.
A little higher on your cursor.
Right here.
Here's the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nose and everything. And there's one behind it looks like two.
Right here. Yeah.
In the big thicket area of East Texas is a lot of those with that support.
Yeah. Can you blow that up as big as you can get it?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Now right there, right next to the tree.
Yeah.
That's right now you're on the chin.
Yeah.
And you can see the mouth and the nose and the eyes and
right. Yeah.
Also in that green, the same dark green behind it is another one. Right there is the chin, the cheek, the chin area where your cursor is.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to be. They're going to be right past that bow-like structure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Like this is kind of like a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that down at the rifle range, so I took a picture of it, and then I saw this at the park up there. Here's the tourists, and busloads of them come in there.
You don't know what's going on.
No, them shadow areas back there.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just measuring what I thought was a footprint.
Yeah, I see that.
It measured out at 9 inches wide at about the center of it. It's, I think, 16 inches long and 7 inches at the heel.
Yeah.
Well, this is a picture of the area that the lights had come from that evening in February. And this right here, this cedar tree stump, I mean, it sticks out because it's different than everything else around it.
Uh-huh.
Well, I walked in there and got a closer look at it. There we are.
That's the one that's hollow all the way inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, would that be like a red cedar, or is that like bloodstain?
I think this is just this. You know, the bark is stripped off it, and it's quite old. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's all we're seeing is just the bark is stripped off or else scratched off. And you know,
Off for
Yeah.
bedding.
Yeah.
and you know, like maybe it has significance because, like I said, when I look in there, I see this, and it's different than anything else around it. So it could be set up as a lure to get people to come in.
Yeah.
That or a 360
Good hiding
degree
spot for them.
place. You know, if you're standing, if you got a small one in the middle of that, you know, that could fit in that, they could watch.
Well, sure. Here, I'll show you the next photo here. There we are. It's
Yeah.
hollow,
Yeah.
hollowed right out.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect spot to just watch all directions for food.
Yeah. It's falls there. This is what people go to
There's
see.
caves behind there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big trap area.
Yeah. Well, like I told you before, I think I told you that there was a young girl, I think she was 21, died here about 6 years ago.
Wow.
She fell off there. She was there with friends and climbed up on the railing. I guess stood right up on the railing and then went off here. And it's not much to go over the edge. It's maybe 25 feet and you're down in the pit there.
Wow.
And
Beautiful.
it's about a 350-foot drop. They had to get I think they got a helicopter and long line down there to haul her body out of there.
Wow.
Right behind that waterfall, though, that cave, there's a big cave there, and where that water's coming out. At
Yeah.
least caves.
Yeah, the river runs from the left and then it comes here and it's all kind of hollowed out there and then it just comes down over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was right in the same area as that weird sort of break bow that we were looking at. So I thought this was something significant too.
We would call that a corral.
Yeah,
Yeah. They get animals to be herded right in there.
yeah,
It's like it just corrals them and
Yeah.
They can either feed or, and they have herds. They have herds of deer that they keep, they maintain for food. They also like turkeys, everything really.
Yeah.
You'll find these kind of things all over the place. And
For
if
the,
you
I'm sorry.
if you look different, I mean, at the ground, you may find only deer prints in this area, or you may find only hog, or it's just what they're using it for.
Mm.
Or you'll see that there's a game trail that leads into that, which they flush them into that just to stop them right there so they can grab them and eat them.
Yeah.
The
This
section
is
in the book starts on page 131 for chutes, corrals, and funnels.
mhm.
Anybody that didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's been pinned up against the tree there. And then they held it down with this log right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is it's just right off the walking trail that all the people walk down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, look at the wind. Look what the wind did.
Yeah. Yeah, there's how high it was. And I'm 6'3", so I measured that to be 13 and a half.
Okay.
Good job.
I actually
Yeah.
have another picture there where I think I put my hand against the tree here. And then when I looked at it later, I was like, wow, I got my hand right on one of their faces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We know someone that went to lean up against a tree thinking it was a tree,
Yeah.
and there was one.
Oh, yeah. Let's see one of those. Yeah, it's an old break, but I've never seen one of these actually before. I've seen them in your photographs, but I've never come across one myself. So now I have.
You know what you're looking for.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're coming up on 3 hours, Bob, so we're going to have to cruise past these next ones.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I got my other Dunn Lake ones. We can look at that on the next report.
Yeah,
That'll
definitely.
be good.
Yeah, this is
Excellent,
just the first
excellent
one.
photos.
I know, the first one.
Great.
Yeah.
And we'll get back with the other field reporters. And we know we got a couple out there, but we're, like we said, we're running up on 3 minutes or 3 hours.
Yeah, we've got several that just weren't ready.
Yeah, some of them weren't ready. They just wanted to listen and see how everything goes.
So that gives y'all more time.
And if anyone out there has your photos and everything, we can use the present button on here. We may have a tutorial for everybody for the next one. But Bob, we want to.
Man.
888.
I'm just so used to
We're used to talking to you instead of
Yeah.
pretty out and bold anyway.
Yeah.
So, but we're sure proud of you, and we appreciate everything.
Yeah, you brought a lot of information for everybody.
Cube already had to leave, and he said, "I'm sorry, Jerry. I need to get my mom out to an appointment. Wasn't aware she had one." Field reporter 888. This is an excellent report. Lots there.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I almost didn't make it myself.
well, we're sure glad you did.
And this was kind of a.
This was a first time.
Yeah, well, we only gave it like 2 or 3 days, and a lot of people was like, "Well, I need a little bit more time." We said, "Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and get the first one started, so everybody sees what we need."
Yeah.
So like the way it was long notice because we've been saying we're going to do field reports for months, but then when we actually made the decision of when, it was 2 days notice. So we appreciate you coming in that soon.
Yeah. You gave everything that people need to see, what to look for.
Yeah.
everyone learned. We appreciate everything, especially what you're doing out there and helping your neighbors and everybody. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people will go to the you know, use their time and everything to go help a lot of people. But we
Risk
appreciate what
being
you're doing.
laughed at, you know, all
Yeah.
that nonsense that goes with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, just a while, about 2 months ago, there was a big accident on the highway, and you know, the hospital sent a medevac helicopter. It landed on the highway and everything, and I was there. I was the second person on scene there, and I was talking with the helicopter pilots while we were waiting to see what was going to happen. Because then they finally said, "Oh, they're going to take him by ambulance, so they don't need us." And one of the co-pilot was telling me he comes up here to the park, and I told him what had happened there in the wintertime. And when I mentioned the word Sasquatch, he put his hand up in front of his mouth and laughed right in my face.
Mm. Yeah.
I realized that it sounds strange to people, and I just thought it just kind of washes over me like, oh well, you know, whatever. I like what I'd said once before in one of the posts. I said, people can do that. I don't care, because I've been out there by myself, face to face, in a sense, with these demonic, supernatural beings, and I've seen them do stuff to me and around me that no amount of laughing is going to dissuade me from saying anything.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm going to read real quick because that reminds me right there. What you just said is a perfect example. Page 7 of the book, we developed this book for the people who have no help, for those that have no one to believe them about what they have seen or heard. This book is for people with the concern that there is something unnatural out in the forest. It was written for the people who are ridiculed or scoffed at and not taken seriously by family members, friends, strangers, counselors, or law enforcement. It is written for those of you who begin to doubt yourselves when you know that you know what you saw, heard, or experienced.
Yeah.
Yep. So if they're not going to listen,
Just shake the dust off your feet.
shake it off and go on. You know,
Like
Yeah.
you do.
yeah, like you do. Just keep doing what you do.
Yeah, doing a great
Yeah.
job.
I mean, I don't know where people are at with this subject, so I just kind of throw it out there and see what they'd say, you know, because you never know when you're talking to somebody. They might be interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
We did have at one event, we did have a couple. I was trying to teach the boy. He was looking at all the twists and the examples that we had, and I'm explaining to him, and his parents come up and they're both laughing at me,
Mm-hmm.
taking me serious. They were laughing at me, and I said, y'all can laugh if you want.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to keep your child more safe.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well, also, I think she also told the child, if you see these things, tell your parents. You know.
stay away from that.
You see these breaks, these bends, these, you know, everything, bows.
So that's all.
Yeah. There's a 10-year-old that I've been telling about this at our potluck dinners. I finally told his mom, I said, you know, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. And the young boy, he was really interested in it. And it'd be great if he would want to learn more and they would be okay with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure one of the parents is always with you.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in an odd
Yeah, because
No.
anything turned
situation.
around and
Keep
we don't.
yourself covered.
Yeah. We don't want
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't try to push it on them. You know, I'm not gonna. If they don't want their kid to hear this stuff, then that's okay. But I just told this young fellow. I said, you know, if you ever see one of these things in the woods, because they do show themselves more so to women and children.
Yeah.
I said, if you ever see one, don't ever look it in the eyes.
Yeah. Hey, you know, since you have the DVD, maybe you could get some of those people together and have a movie night or
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, my friend here that owns a KOA campground, he's really interested in it.
Good.
That would be cool. That'd be a
Good.
perfect place to show it. They have the outdoor screens sometimes.
Yeah, he's got a big screen in the restaurant. I think it's probably about 8 feet across, this TV.
Yeah, and they're camping, so they need to know this.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
great.
His family has a big ranch up towards the park, and I keep telling him, I say, Dean, we got to go up there and do some tracking. I
Yeah.
said, I guarantee there's stuff around the farm. And he told me that his neighbor was tracking, or he was building a road on his property, I think, where kind of a hiking trail for his guests. And he was up there with a 4-wheeler bushwhacking and making a trail. And then he said there was this huge rock that got dropped in the trail. And there was no sign. Like I said to him, was there any sign like it had been moved, like from one place and put to another, or did it roll there? And he said it was put in the middle of the trail so that it couldn't be moved by him. And then, yeah.
Motorbike
Or to
rack
block the area off and say,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, it was a sign, don't be doing this. Because he said the neighbor went back about a week later and the rock was gone.
Whenever you kept.
Yeah, I
clearing.
had my cousin came up over just exactly the kind of ambush spots that we talk about. He was on his motorbike, the
Mhm.
what do you call it? The dirt bike.
ATV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dirt bike,
Dirt
and
bike.
he came up over a hump, and on the other side of it was a log that had been placed right there. He was
Yeah.
nowhere, broke his collarbone. It was a really risky situation. If it had been there right at that time, that
Yeah.
would have been good.
Also,
It was placed there.
also lead tracker, he was clearing a trail or kind of
Oh,
making
yeah.
a trail, and
Yeah.
there would be a tree laying in that trail. She'd remove it, come back later, and there would be another tree laying.
A line of them just
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were spaced almost equally apart, and then I'd remove them, they'd come back, and then the next thing you know is a wall of foliage trying to block off that trail. And so I cut through that. I'm like, what is going on here? And then when I went back out, not long after that, an entire large tree had been pushed over, and a blind on each end, on the root end and on the foliage end, but the foliage end completely covered the path. Then they picked the perfect tree to land right there. And it was right after that I found my first significant structure that they were climbing in, or bedding in.
Yeah. That tree, like you were saying about your friend that come up over the hill and then hit the tree and flipped. That's a perfect trap
Yes.
that they set up, because people riding motorcycles, you come up over a hill like that and usually you're going fast. You don't know what's there, and you'd hit that tree and go right over the handlebars or something.
Yeah. And he had been on that trail many times,
Yeah.
Which, there you go. They know.
Yeah. Well, my friend that owns the campsite, he was telling me that same neighbor that encountered the rock has a picture of a 2-foot, like a 24-inch footprint up near the lake out by his place. And I'm trying to get that picture. I asked Dean if he can get it.
Good. Okay.
And another guy that I've been telling him about this, he was out in that area looking at the stars one night about a week or two ago, and he phoned me up and he said, everything you told me happened up there. He said, I heard a loud thump on the ground, and then he got the smell, the sweet smell, and then he saw a bunch of branches and stuff pushed down on the road that he drove in on that weren't there when he went in.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing good
See,
things
you're
out
making
there,
a
Bob.
difference because
I
you
know.
recognize those things. You're
Yeah.
making a difference.
Even just talking to people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you did too. There will be people that learn for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna learn from this also for sure.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
better,
so
close up. We're at 3 hours.
yeah. So I got lots of interest. I'm building up lots of interest with people, you know.
Good.
And I'm going to be meeting with one of the native guys from Alberta. He's coming up from the Pine. He's in the Pine Ridge Reservation right now. You were doing their Sundance ceremony.
Yeah.
And my neighbor's good friends with him, and she told him about me. And he's got the tribal van, and he's gonna make a swing through here on his way back up to. He's at a Lexus Reserve just outside Edmonton. So I'm anticipating a good chat with him coming up.
Good.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and close in prayer
Yeah.
and let you get going too.
Thank you
Yep.
again, Bob.
Very much. And we'll
Yeah.
catch
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Father. Just thank you for Bob. Thank you for keeping him protected. Thank you for everyone that will view this now and that will view it later, Lord. Just help them to open their eyes to see what's really going on out there. Let them suspend trying to rationalize things away, and Lord, just help them so that they will be safer and that all the communities will be safer. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
888.
Everybody's going to recognize your voice anyway, but
Yeah.
All right, Bob, we'll see
we
you,
appreciate you.
especially for the next one. We want you back. Definitely, you got so much information.
Yeah. I'll probably have more on top of what I didn't cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's anyone that had planned on talking tonight, we'll just have to catch it next time. You'll have more notice. Just keep your notes.
Yeah.
Good
All
night,
right.
Warriors.
Good night, Warriors. Good night, Bob. Good night,
Bye-bye.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Are we moving?
So beautiful.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer.